why do we have to learn about gender fluidity from the West? Gender fluidity doesn't mean that, I'm in the morning I'm a woman, by afternoon I'm transgender, towards night I feel like a man.
Existential crisis.
Yeah, so all of us have feminine, masculine elements within us. So we don't have to learn from the West, and the whole thing that people LGBTQ community is not about those who go to the Pride March and say LGBTQ for Palestine. It's actually like saying chickens for KFC, but there is a completely huge section of people who have with alternative sexuality, with fluid sexuality, who exist in our culture, like Gaudiya Vaishnav, have this whole thing of role playing. The role playing during drama is their worship. They believe that is the worship of God. So Indic systems, Hijras of Pakistan still live in the Indic fold. So do some of the Sufi sects, and there are many others. So it's fascinating. It's so diverse. The whole right is so diverse. It's as diverse as India. Once upon a time, the Congress party used to be the umbrella for a great deal of diversity, which Nalin also mentioned. And Congress began shrinking. Congress began losing when it stopped being that kind of an umbrella. And today Congress is like a far left NGO, controlled by a family. So there is no chance. If you have to be in India, as I said, even the left participated in Durga Puja. Crony left. if there was ever such a thing, but yes.
No, absolutely. And who will tell you that diversity of people, institutions, that the right umbrella kind of harbors, looks after, and nurtures. And there is nothing exclusive about that. It's all inclusive. In fact, I found as a default leftist, because you don't have a choice. Sorry, taking the conversation further, I would like to ask Balbirji first. He has to go now. We've come a long way, Balbirji. You started this. The idol labs like you who talked about it, and I can't even begin to imagine all that you must have endured and undergone by the so-called intelligentsia, who thought of themselves as intelligentsia those times. How do we take this ahead, this discourse? It's happening by itself, it's got a life of its own. But what I want to ask you, I'm not talking about Hindu revival or either of that, the civilization revival, the new conversation, the discourses on who we are and where do we go, and to understand ourselves and our past before. What is the next thing to be done in this? Non-politically.
The question is, we'll need, I don't know, how many hours of answer, but I like to do it in a couple of minutes, to the best of my ability. You see, like anything else, even ideas have a shelf life. You had communism as an idea, got into practice somewhere in the 1920, 70, and died in 1991. About 70 years shelf life. Globalization as an idea came with the UN resolution 1951, which said one size fits all.
Yes.
And they said that all local cultures had to be destroyed so that a globalized market becomes available. and the Coca-Cola was the icon. सबको पीना है, प्यास लगे तो कोका-कोला पीना है, पूरी दुनिया में. In 2008, through a resolution, the United Nations said that was an absurd idea. Every country needs to can develop only through its own model, which must be in agreement with its culture, traditions. So the idea of the life of the idea was about 58 years, to put it precisely. That was the shelf life. Now, Islam is 1400 years. It is trying to run the world the way it wants to. Christianity 2000. But Sanatan is timeless. Sanatan is what? जो पुरातन भी है और नित्य प्रतिदिन नूतन भी है. It's ever evolving. Quran is the beginning and end of Islam. You think of changing one word in Quran, you are guilty of blasphemy. और सिर तन से जुदा. Bible is the beginning and end of Christianity. In Sanatan, Ved आए, उपनिषद आए, पुराण आए, ब्रह्म सूत्र आए, whole lot of विवेकानंद जी भी आए, गुरु नानक भी आए, और अभी मजूमदार जी भी आए. तो you can go adding. ये तो पहले आए. तो there is no end, ever evolving. It is timeless. So ultimately, if this world has to sustain, it is a separate topic by itself, then it has to go by Sanatan values. And Sanatan values, one more point, I didn't want to elaborate. You know, it is only in this culture you can be agnostic, you can be anti-God, and you can be dharmic. धार्मिक होने के लिए भगवान में विश्वास करना जरूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि जो धर्म के 10 लक्षण बताए गए, चोरी नहीं करनी, सच बोलना वगैरह वगैरह, भगवान में विश्वास करना उसमें नहीं है. तो यू कैन बी धार्मिक विदाउट बिलीविंग इन गॉड. और जितने भी आप जिस भी तरह से, किसी ने हमसे पूछा कि भाई ये आप में तो कोई 1000-2000 देवी देवता हैं, पता नहीं 36 करोड़ हैं, कितने हैं, क्या मतलब क्या है, भगवान तो एक है. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि भाई आप रामदास जी हैं? हाँ. तो अपनी पत्नी के तो पति हैं, बहन के भाई हैं, पुत्र के पिता हैं, और पिताजी के पुत्र हैं, और श्यामदास जी के पड़ोसी हैं, इंडियन भी हैं, दिल्ली वाले भी हैं. तो यार एक आदमी हो, इतने लोग कैसे हैं? तो भगवान तो एक है. आपको आजादी दी कि आप अपने मन में एक आदमी, एक नहीं, एक आदमी 100 रूपों में भी भगवान को देख सकता है. तो आगे का रास्ता अगर दुनिया को बचना है तो यही है. और बाकी आइडियाज की शेल्फ लाइफ बहुत कम है, कुछ एक्सपायरी डेट में हो गए और बाकी जल्दी हो जाएंगे. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much for that. Naren, Abhijit, great session. A lot of learning. I can speak for myself. You know, you grow up a certain way, you get indoctrinated. This last bit, you know, what you told us about Sanatan and how liberating it is for a free thinker, for an individual, indeed is something I have felt. There is a limitation there, or limits where anti-Semitic religions are concerned, and ecumenic faiths are concerned, and this is something to be really delved into. And it is not opposed to any thought or idea, religion, so to speak. So that is the learning here. Thank you so much for this wonderful session, Abhijit. Great book. Nalin, I'm going to steal this book again from you because it